Okay, we got to address this. This is a huge interview that took place on Tucker Carlson's show with former Congressman Curt Weldon, who was talking about 9/11 and everything else that was happening on that day. Now, to be clear here, I find this to be a fascinating study and interview in regards to where we're at now. Ever since September 11th, 2001, I don't know. Maybe that was the point in which we entered our grim, dark future of uncertainty. Decades of unending war, decades of corruption, lack of trust in our institutions. On that day, we were forever changed. Nothing ever went back to normal. More fear, more surveillance, more spying. Do you feel safe? Hey, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 for, yes, kid, I feel safe. I just bow my head. I don't upset Big Brother. And I keep quiet. Because if I keep quiet, nothing bad will ever happen to me. Type 2, no, I don't feel safe. Somebody decided the super glue Fahrenheit 451 Brave New World 1984 and also staple Idiocracy into one big manual. What could go wrong? Well, a lot can go wrong. So first of all, I want to play this aspect of the interview. Again, huge shout out to Tucker Carlson. Folks, I'm going to keep my pausing here to a minimum, but I would right now be quiet, grab yourself a tasty snack and tasty beverage, and open your ears.
Poor truth of 9/11, September 11th, 2001 is?
I don't, at this point in time, I have my own perceptions. I don't have something I can give 100%. I can't swear on, but what I'm seeing bothers me to the core of my body, that 9/11 did not happen because a group of hijackers got control of some planes. First of all, I have confirmed that 2 of the hijackers that were on one of the planes in New York were working for the CIA. They were on the CIA payroll. And that was confirmed to me by someone in writing from one of our agencies. And I have that letter. So 2 of the people involved were actually working for the CIA in one of the planes. I know that. And they lost control of them. And there were reprimands against those agency people after the fact. Second, I know the intelligence, they tried 3 times to transfer the information about information that could have prevented 9/11.
Well, then you also have it. I mean, this is just a fact. I don't know what to make of it, but you have a guy called Alex Jones, who's a broadcaster, who said that summer that the World Trade Centers are going to hit by planes and a guy called Osama bin Laden is going to be blamed. He said that on tape with a timestamp, so we know that actually happened. That's not making it up. It's not a conspiracy theory. He said that. And it's like, how would he know that? That's so far out of the realm of what anyone was thinking in Washington, where I lived at the time. So then my question is, okay, if I'm Philip Zelikow, the guy running the 9/11 Commission, I'm calling Alex Jones immediately, saying, come on in, under oath, and we're going to find out, how did you know that? And instead, the U.S. government, the FBI in particular, set about to destroy Alex Jones and almost succeeded. I mean, they engineered a Zelikow guy.
That's right, Zelikow and Gorelick. And Dieter Snell. Dieter Snell was a staffer working for them.
Jamie Gorelick, who was a Clinton DOJ.
Who wrote the firewall memo that said you can't transfer military intelligence to civilian law enforcement.
I think Bill Kristol's cousin, too, unless I'm misremembering.
Maybe that's the case.
Don't you find it fascinating that throughout this entire time, there's stuff that's still missing? You know, even after all these years, so many questions need to be answered. How much or what was not shared in the final report? You know, it's a little bit off topic because let's face it, I love science fiction. I love entertainment. I love movies and TV shows. And you know what? Hey, maybe if it comes off to be a little nerdy, hey, I'm a little nerdy, you know? But I just want to maybe spook some of y'all, scare some of y'all. Especially maybe something to make the back of your hair, you know, the hair on the back of your neck, like stick up just a tiny little bit, you know? And I'm going to pull this up from Wikipedia, and I know what everyone's going to say. Oh, Kit, don't use Wikipedia. How dare you? But don't worry, it's legitimate this time. I promise to all of you. Remember the X-Files? Well, in March 4th, a spin-off series called The Lone Gunman aired its first premiere video or show, titled Pilot, directed by Rob Bowman, written by Chris Carter, Vince Gilligan, John Sheeman, Frank Spotsnitz. It had 13.23 million viewers at the time. And the Lone Gunmen were, Agent Mulder's best friends. They helped him with aliens and other conspiracy theories. Hey, let me start your morning off with a little bit of fear. Pilot. While the Lone Gunmen are thwarted in their attempt to steal a computer chip by Yves Edelherel, Byers receives news from of his father's death. The trio soon find themselves unraveling a government conspiracy concerning an attempt to fly a commercial aircraft into the World Trade Center, with increased arms sales to the United States as an intended result. March 4th, 2001 is when this baby premiered. Hold on. For those of us who don't know how to read calendars, January, February, March. Oh, that's the third month of 2001. January, February, March, April, May. 5 months. June, July, August. Oh. What's the ninth month? All right. I mean, I'm just saying. Here, let me read that again, just for you guys to be like, huh, that aired on TV. Just like we'll never see the Simpsons episode of New York City ever again either. While the Lone Gunmen are thwarted in their attempt to steal a computer chip, Byers, one of the characters, receives news of his father's death, and the trio soon find themselves unraveling a government conspiracy concerning an attempt to fly a commercial aircraft into the World Trade Center, with increased arms sales for the United States as an intended result. Are you afraid now? Are you a little bit spooked? Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Right? Sorry about using Wikipedia as a reference, but it was legit, and that was a TV show.
In the front row, and I said, Lee, why did you not allow me to testify? And he said to me, well, Congressman, we had a lot of people that wanted to testify. Now I'm the representative of all the firefighters in the country. I'm the point person for the firefighters. Yes. I'm a firefighter and a fire chief. I'd been at the Trade Center in 93. I'd been there in 9/11, and they would not let me testify because they didn't want to hear what I had to say.
What would you have said?
And I would have said that we caused this.
What do you mean?
With the intelligence, I have the evidence that we could have stopped this. Not me. Louis Freeh said that. Based upon what I came out with, Louis Freeh's op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, which I can give you a copy of, said the 9/11 Commission was an incomplete investigation. And he also went on Good Morning America and said the same thing. They tried to blame Louis Freeh because Louis Freeh had left the FBI the year before 9/11 happened. So he was their scapegoat. And to this day, I think Louis is very upset over that.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that.
So the only way around this is to have for the firefighters of America and for our country, to have an independent commission be appointed and give that commission full authority to take this wherever it goes, including the end result. And the end result may be very ugly.
I want to pull up something else here too, Pierre, because you know what? There might be a little bit delay here and there, but I just want to thank everybody for listening in on this. I want to be very clear as we continue to push forward. Thank you, everybody, for listening in on this. You can check out the full video on Tucker Carlson's channel, of course. But we are in interesting times. Interesting times, concerning times. But let us never forget that, shall we? And as always, we have to keep our heads on a swivel. I don't know how this will all play out in the end. But as a wise man once said in 2024,
all lies will be exposed.
take good care.